Today I'm taking a look at this Landeron 148 movement. This is a complete movement. It works almost perfectly well in the sense that I believe the mainspring is slipping inside the barrel, because when you wind it after 6 or 7 winds or turns of the crown, if you will, it just slips, and it is not fully charged, obviously. There was also another issue that I already resolved, and it was the flyback lever spring that was missing, and I replaced it with a thin wire which was hand bent to have a similar shape as the original one. And this is this one. So this is the flyback lever or lever, and the spring has the function to push the lever back after the pusher has been pressed. So this is the activator lever, and then you have the flyback lever, stopping the chronograph and resetting the hands. As you may have noticed, the camera is a little bit it's not horizontal to the perpendicular, sorry, to the plane of the watch, because my the tripod broke and I still didn't have the time to fix it, so the camera is hanging on a box on top of my bench table. So it will be a little bit hard to film and work at the same time, but I'll do my best. So this is it. I tried to put it as perpendicular to the plane of the table as possible, so you can see a top view of the movement. As I said, it's a 248 movement, and you can see it here, the serial number. I will show you exactly what the problem is. I will just wind it, and then you will hear distinctively when the mainspring inside the barrel slips. So here we go. There you go. I guess you heard it well. Gonna repeat it. There you go. So just to be sure, I'm gonna show you that the chrono functions are working properly, and this is the activator lever. So I'll just let it run for 1 minute, so you see that also the chrono minute counter works properly. I cannot zoom out more than this, I'm sorry. Oh, a little bit, yes. Because as I said, the tripod is broken, and so the camera is on top of a small box on top of my bench table. So it's pretty close to the movement itself. Here we go. There you see. So Now I'm going to activate the flyback lever just to stop the chrono function and reset the movement. Okay. The next step is to remove all the power that I put it in, wind in the crown, and you do this basically acting on the click from the movement side. The click is in a very tricky position. It's underneath here. If you can see it, I'm going to move the crown, so wind the crown. You can see as I wind a little bit slowly the crown, it moves, and then click, 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 click. That's the click. So basically what you have to do is a small tip of screwdriver or whatever, and the tip of the tweezers. You just wind slowly and then insert the screwdriver to block the click in open position, and then very gently holding the crown with your thumb and pointing finger, you just unwind the movement until basically the balance wheel stops. So all the power has been removed from the movement. The next step is to remove, just to be safe, the balance cock and the balance wheel and the pallet fork beneath it. So let's get to it. As usual, I will be putting the screws back on their place, on their holes, because some screws are very similar one to the other, so I don't want to mix them up. Okay. So the balance wheel is out of the way, and I will try to screw back there. This is the most difficult part because without any shoulders to hold the screw in place, it's quite hard to screw back the screw inside the hole because it's keep on tipping over and falling. So you gotta be really careful when doing this, especially if the other components of the movement are still in place. Also because if you press it too much and the tips of your tweezers are not properly dressed, which means sharpened, it tends to, make the screw or the component fly away. So here it is. Okay. Now I will remove the pallet fork bridge, which is basically I have to search for the proper name. I'm sorry. I want to give you the proper name for every single part of a piece. The manual just calls it the pallet fork assembly, but I know it has another name. I'm looking at the, okay, wait a second, I'm looking for the part on the parts manual. part 125, and it's it's called the pallet cock. And what I usually call the pallet fork in the manual says that it's called the pallet staff. So let's get on to it. The pallet cock. That's this one. And how do you remove the pallet cock? It's very gently, and just pry it upwards with a screwdriver or the tip of the tweezers from this side, very gently, and then you proceed also from this side. I don't know if you can see it. So you try not to bend it too much. Otherwise, it will break the pivots on the pallet fork, or the pallet staff, how the man calls it, which is this one. Okay, there was still some power to the movement, but it's okay. So this is the pallet fork or pallet staff. And looks like everything is fine. The two pivots are still there. The jewels are in good condition, as you can see. So I'm good to go. We're installing the pallet fork screw now. My driver is a little bit magnetized. Sorry for this. And this is a good way to check also that all the wheels move freely. Third and the fourth wheel and the second wheel move freely. Just powering it up, winding it up, they should all move without any problem or issue, just freely like they are doing right now. So it's this moment has been also previously serviced before the mainspring broke. It was serviced in oil, so that's why it's very smooth. And now I will have to remove my concoction, which is this spring. I have to do it very slowly because otherwise it will just fly off. A piece of pegwood or a small piece of wood, which helps. And there you go. The spring flew off. I have to look for it. Sorry, I'll be back.